Zman, where all minds are into the Inyan that we're standing in, Shoshana, Kippur, says Tshuva, and what we have to do in order to be Zeicha B'Din, take advantage of the Gewaldige Zman that we're standing in, and everybody has to think about in themselves what they have to be misakin, what they're missing, and try to find ways and means to make ourselves better in those inyanim. But I want to discuss something that maybe be overlooked by many of us, and that is that we're talking about shleimus, perfecting ourselves. We have to think about not only our personal shaychus to Kadosh Baruch Hu, but we also have to think about our part of a Klal Yisrael, the Achrayos that we have to Klal Yisrael. You can't just look at we as an individual. We have to work on ourselves to perfect ourselves. And we'll say, well, maybe this year I'm not in the mood so much, Chas v'sholom to say that, but maybe people are misrashel sometimes. But we have to think about our responsibility to Klal Yisrael. If we don't do and bring ourselves in the best that we can be, then we are going against our Achrayos, our responsibility to Klal Yisrael. We're turning our backs to Klal Yisrael. If we're not the best that we can be, then Klal Yisrael is not the best they can be. And that's an Achrayos. The Lord going to take us to task for that. Because being part of Klal Yisrael, we get the milas and the advantages of being part of a klal, but we also have to think about if we let down Klal Yisrael, then we're responsible for that also. It goes together, like everything else. If you have an opportunity, you have a schus. If that schus is neglected, then there is our opposite consequences. So this is the point I want to say, that many of us don't take that into consideration. We're talking about shleimus, working on ourselves, but we have to realize the responsibility to Klal Yisrael. We're not only working for ourselves, we're working for a ganze klal. For the present and the future. To bring out that point, Atem Tzav Hayom L'Kulchem L'Hashem L'Lekechem. Baruch Hu is telling B'Shem Hashem, all standing from Hashem, B'Sheichem, Shiftechem, Zikneichem, Shetreichem, Kol Ish Yisrael, Tapchem, D'Sheichem, Gercha, Cheta V'Tzecha, Asher Mimecha, everybody standing. For what? Lavach HaBris Hashem L'Kech V'Alosai. To be mechazik the bris and the olah. Hashem L'Kech V'Alosai Simcha Hayom. Men, women, children, servants, everybody had to be together. Not only that, but not only you, but even those who are not here with us today, those neshamas that will be into the world in the future, they're also here today. Everybody has to be today. To make this bris and this Allah. What's a bris and the Allah? A bris means the commitment between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. Bris. This l'chol Kim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Kim for us, and we're His nation. That's the bris, the commitment Hashem has to us, and we have to Him. The Allah is chas v'shalom. If we don't keep that commitment, then there is punishment, Allah, lala, as it goes further. Can't have a real commitment without having something to back it up. If you don't, there has to be a bris with an Allah. The person commit himself and there's no responsibility, there's nothing to tell him if you don't keep it, nothing will happen. So what kind of commitment is that? Bris and Allah. There has to be a consequence if there's a real bris. So, why did everybody have to be there? Pashtum Pshat is because everybody has to be there. Because making the bris with everybody. He wants to make sure every Yid, in the present and the future, that we're there, men, women, children, servants, everybody. Pashtum Pshat, he wants nobody's left out. Everybody's part of this bris. But there's a much deeper idea over here also. Very, very, very strong idea here that we have to realize and live with. Pasha Zayis HaBracha, we learn on Simchas Torah. We mean like Eish, Das, Lamay. Baruch Hu from Yad Yamin gave the Torah to Klal Yisrael, the Eish, fire of Torah, of the Das, of the law. So Rashi, what's the Eish Das? Eish, Levon, Shchayra, Al Gabe Eish Levona. Torah, Shemayim, has a black fire written on white fire. We have in Sefer Torah black ink on top of a white background. Shemayim, you have the fire of Torah, the white fire, the black written on the white fire. What is that fire? What is that? That is the Torah Shebiksav, the Torah Shebal Peh. Torah Shebiksav, the black ink with the letters written on the parchment, Torah Shebiksav, and that is Mugbal, that has exact letters written in exact way, the amount of letters, everything about it is exact. Anything that's not written right is possible. That is the Torah Shebiksav. Torah Shebal Peh is the parchment underneath. It's not mugbal. You have to feel him between each letter, between each line, the bottom, the top. It's Ein Lo Gvul. It's Beli Mitzara. Rashi brings by the Hash Mitzara, Amuk Hachamim Min Atzel. Light looks darker than Chamim Min Atzel, than dark. If you have, take a look at any writing, the background of white looks deeper than the black in front of our eyes. But talk about the nega. The nega has a lightness to it, darkness to it. That Cham Natzel says that the amuk, that the nega This amuk is deeper. Because it has a color to it, so it looks deeper. The sun looks deeper than the shadow. That's the white of the Sefer, of the white fire that we're talking about, of the Torah. The Torah Shebek Sabal Peh. It's amuk, it's depth. The depth is without any sheer. It's deeper and deeper and deeper. It's Rechava min hayam. It's very wide and covers so much. Some inyanim. That's much more. That's not mugbul like the ksav on top. And the depth of the Torah Shebal Peh. We're told that every neshama of a yid has a kesher with an ice in the Torah. Every neshama has a kesher, one of the ices in the Torah. Of course, we don't know Bisman Hazeh, which our neshama connects to, which mitzvah. At the time of the Nevi'im, they used to tell people where the neshama belongs, where they come from. But every yid has a certain parsha, a certain connection to a certain part of the Torah, and in that parsha are psukim. In those psukim there are letters, and in those letters there's different parts of the letters, and the neshama of a yid connects to a certain chelik of the Torah. You say, well, somebody Yidden, how's it possible? There's somebody that means ice in the Torah, because every ice in the Torah is connected to the Torah Shebal Peh. It's written on what they book ksav, that itself has different dekolim and maklos and different all kinds of different things in Torah Shebal itself. But within every ice of the Torah, there's tilim shel halachas. Torah Shebal Peh. Every ice of the Torah has deep and wide and so much knowledge and depth. There's ein l'davar seif. There's no sheer. Lesson lavar and shrocha and olam haba will be giluyim of Torah, nitzchias, giluyim after giluyim. Every part of the Torah is ein l'davar seif. So therefore, no matter how many Yidden there are, they all can connect to the different chelak of that ois in the Torah, which that ois represents the Torah Shebal, the Torah Shebal Peh, and he has one chelak, that Torah Shebal Peh, that's the gay to that person. Everybody's different. Everybody's different chelak. Every man and woman has a chelak in the Torah. The neshama is attached to a certain prat, certain detail that goes into the Torah Shebal Peh, which is ein l'davar seif. So it comes out, Amar de Gezach, that the Yidden are a Sefer Torah. We're the Sefer Torah. Because we are connected to every chelik of the Torah. So every Yid is an ice in the Torah. It's a chelik of that ice. So together we make a big Sefer Torah. That's the Ikar Sefer Torah. Not the Eish Levana, Eish Chayra, that's ganz fine, but it's not alive. We're HaKadosh Baruch Hu Sefer Torah, his Sefer Torah. The Yidden are HaKadosh Baruch Hu Sefer Torah. Because every Yid is part of that Sefer Torah. It's connected to some part of the Torah. And if there's one thing missing from the Torah, it's puzzle. If one ice missing from the Torah, or one, not only an ice has to be missing, but if what's cut off, if something's not connected, it's not written exactly. It's possible to say for Torah. Shmuel's coming to make a bris with Klal Yisrael. What is it? Because Shmuel's committing himself. Kibiyachol is committing to Klal Yisrael. Rashi brings us out. But the word thing of Rashi is in Chumash. Shmuel is saying to the Yidden, You have to be makabel to keep the Torah because I made a shvur to the others that I'm not going to leave you ever. I made a shvur to you you can't do this to me. You go away from the Torah. I can't go away from you. I made a shvur to them. You have to have Achmanas on me, so to speak. You have to keep the Torah because I have no choice. So he's like, Rashi, I can't be perished from the Yidden. I made a shvur to the Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov. I'll never be perished from them. So you can't be perished from me either then. But he's coming over here saying that I want to make this bris with you. This is a commitment with you. But you're my Sefer Torah. I'm a Sholem, because it's a Sholem, and I'm connecting, we have to connect with this kosher Sefer Torah, with the Shleimus. Shmuel cannot connect with the Davar that's Chaser. He only connects with the Davar that's Sholem. Has to be a Shleimus to Gezach. Sheichem, Shivteichem, Zekneichem, Shetreichem, Tapchem, Nesheichem, Gerchem, Toitem Etzechem, Shem Imecha. This door, the future doors, because altogether everybody has their chelik, their connection to that ois in the Torah, that prat and that ois, and that makes the shleimus. We couldn't make the bris without that. It's a puzzle Sefer Torah. You have to have the whole ganze Zach. That's the thing to himself. When I go over and passel Sefer Torah, I'll go over to Kodesh, open up the Sefer Torah, and passel it. Chmod l'tzlan. With everything. Passel Sefer Torah. But see, dripping on the Sefer Torah. Run it and save it. It should mechikas ois and it's Sefer Torah. That's how we have to think of ourselves. We're talking about personal shleimus. We have to think about our commitment to Klal Yisrael. We are an ois, and that's everything. The Kodesh Baruch Hu Sefer Torah. We're all connected. That we make a big. That's the Ikar Sefer Torah, not the Sefer. That's the God's fine. In the Aron Kodesh, the Sefer Torah, but that's not the main Sefer Torah. That's not a live Sefer Torah. That's a diamond. Over who's the real Sefer Torah? We, Klal Yisrael, the ganze Welt. We're the Sefer Torah. We're the ones that have connected every ice in the Torah. We're the live Sefer Torah. Every man and woman in Klal Yisrael is a live Sefer, part of that live Sefer Torah. And we have a chi of Kodesh to make, not to passel it. If he is not living up to what he should be, taking away from the Kedusha Sefer Torah. He's taking the Kodesh Baruch down. His Sefer Torah is not. It's not after say. It's not like Atchila. So I started off by saying that Avada, everybody is thinking, what can I do? What should I do? What do I have to do to be Mekayim, so it's tshuva, to get better, to grow, to be Sakin. But we have to think in terms not only ourselves, but Achrayos to Klal Yisrael. Achrayos. That makes it much more of a shibud, and every yachid. We're not yechidim. One ice Sefer Torah is missing, the whole Sefer Torah is missing. Every ice has a rise to the other ices with the Torah. They're all giving to him. Every altar gives to every ice. He's getting from every ice with the Torah. That ice is getting, because they have to be mishab themselves to him, because if they be missing, he's no good. And he has to feel if he's missing, they're no good. And the tshuva is being misakin. It's like the sefer is coming and find somebody who wants to say, yes guys, we'll take the ink. Thomas has to fix it up. All the tshuva we're doing, every yachid, everything we're doing, we're fixing up that sefer Torah. So it's tshuva. We're we're coming with the kulmis and with the ink, and we're making ourselves better, and every mitzvah that we're lacking, and we're shvachin, we're fixing it up. To bring out some points, so I don't have that much time left. Some points from to think about, something lemaisa. Claudius, we're talking now, how the Achrayos, we have to think about the Achrayos, the Klal Yisrael. I have the Sefer Chavos Halvavos, which I hope most of you have learned before. It's a must on the list of Sfarim to learn. Shar Cheshbon HaNefesh, which he starts off, it's after Shar HaTshuva. Shar HaTshuva, Chavos Halvavos, it's before, and he says, in Shar HaTshuva, he said the person has to make a Shar Cheshbon HaNefesh. The person must make a Cheshbon HaNefesh, he wants to do a Tshuva, and therefore he puts after Tshuva Cheshbon HaNefesh. And he has here, believe it or not, 30 cheshbon hanefesh for a person to think about. 30 cheshbonos for us to think about. Each one is moiridik. If you have a chance to go through it, you have this one in English also. It's written in English also. Chavos Halvavos, the whole sefer is one of the classics of Klal Yisrael. Chavos Halvavos. I chose a few things, some of the cheshbonos to think about, which don't have time to go through the ones I chose, but maybe I'll take out one of them just to talk a little bit about. Well, maybe I'll talk about, he talks about the Indian. Twenty-fourth cheshbon. I'm quoting the Beferish to save time. He's talking here how a person has to chacham. He touched the pasuk in which chacham einav bereisha. Chacham literally means his eyes are in his head. What does that mean? Roisha, he said, that means in the beginning. Roisha, the beginning of a person's head. Roisha. Chacham einav bereisha. He's saying that many people are guilty of learning things when they're young, and they are satisfied with it for the rest of their life. Sometimes people can learn Chumash, Isa Bereshis, Avraham Avinu, learns the story, and basically the rest of his life he's left with that. Chacham einav bereisha, you go back to the beginning. You're a year older now, or maybe a few years older now, maybe you're an adult by now. Are you looking at the Torah in a mature way, like it should be looked into? Or are you still looking at in an immature, babyish, or childish way, and not getting out from the Torah what you should be getting out of it? Maybe last year, Taki, you did. But how about this year? This year, you're smarter. The Torah, like you said, was deeper. It's deep. We have to look in Torah every parsha, every week, to try to get something new, to look into it. Some people on their own are bar hochis, but there's so many sforim written in Kodesh in English to make sure that they say, yeah, you must live with the parsha. You're supposed to live with the parsha. That's like it should be alive. That's this week is parsha Lech Lecha, this parsha Mishpat in this parsha. What's in this parsha? Something new, something they get out of it. They say the Shabbos table. What kind of things we say to our children at the Shabbos table? Torah is Torah. But we have to take the opportunity not to chaperine them, some gematria, fast word, nice chap, nice. No, we have to look into Torah to learn something. Amida, Chesed, Stapkus, the divus, self-control, look at the others, to try to bring out to the Shabbos table, everybody sitting, the children, everybody bias, something up to their hair, something new. What a gewaldige kabbalah that would be for the 9 year, to make sure that every Shabbos table, to say something over it, to look at something, but much is dick, not a fast gematria, nice copy. That's Torah, very, very nice. But that's we want to walk away with something to learn from, to live with. Chacham and Bereisha. Go back again. We learned the last year, 2 years, 5 years ago. But it's Torah. This ain't never sight because it's a new connection, a new one to have. Something we can live with, something we can learn, something we can live by during the week. Hanhoga, Hasoga, in the Kodesh Baruch Hu, in the Satova, is that Haga in the world, something that to think about, something to do about. And it goes into davening. Davening is certainly is one of the hardest things. We start davening, we're very young, same davening again and again and again every day. To have kavanah, for the hardest things to have the kavanah in davening, but we got to try do something, find an answer. Not to sit the same davening again, they're thinking about who knows what, but try to davening to at least part of it, something at the hair, not in the thing. That's what he talks about later. The Torah and davening he's talking about over here. Teshuvah 24. He wants to tell you about Riches. I'm saying very bekitzer. Something that would be very appropriate for this man to think about. How can I have more kavanah in davening? Maybe I have to make a simon in the city. Maybe something to learn the pirush of davening. That itself helps a lot. So at the same time, all the time, there's pirushim on the davening in English, and Moshe Kodesh, a lot of sforim written on the davening, and we see that who made the davening? Answering is like Doiler. 120 Zekanim, Mehem Nevi'im. The 120 Zekanim made the davening. Some of them were Nevi'im. And there's not one davening that's the same from the time they did it till Mashiach comes. Even the supposed to, there's nothing the same. Because they made it with the whole chief guide of Pshat, Remesh, Drus, and Soid. Just like in Torah itself, we say every letter has something to do with every davening. Is not one davening is the same. Each one has a different tikkun. Every day in the world is different tikkun. Every day is different. Looks like the same, it's not the same. And every davening is different. So there's so much in davening to learn the perushim and to get at the hair in davening. Maybe let's take Avos by the table. That would be nice. It goes for the 30 cheshbon and nefeshes. Al Koponim. There's a lot to do, a lot to talk about. But the main point is, let's remember our commitment to Klal Yisrael, to Rebbeinu Shalom's Klal Yisrael, to his Sefer Torah. A person would say, how would you like to be part of Klal Yisrael's Sefer Torah? Everybody gives a lot of money to be part of a Sefer Torah. Write an ois in the Sefer Torah. Everybody says, the ois is ach. People pay money to write an ois in the Sefer Torah. We have to write the Sefer Torah, write ourselves, we're the Ikir Ksav of the Sefer. We're HaKadosh Baruch Hu Sefer Torah. I want to make sure that's kosher l'chatchila. That's our unser chiyuv, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Zayich Ataka to make the tikkunim, give nachas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, his Sefer Torah, Zayich to Gemach Sefer Torah.